Hare Krishna, Madhav Chandra Prabhu, can you hear me?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Prabhu, can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji, we can hear you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I think Brajraman Prabhu is in a call and he's muted.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Madhav Chandra Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
I think Braj Chandra Prabhu and Pranavananda Prabhu has joined. I think we should get started, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhuji. We'll get started, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu. I'm just reminding all our God brothers. They were waiting for the Zoom link. It's the same Zoom link, but I'm just telling them it's both Prabhu has joined actually. Yes, bro. Get started, bro. I think you can start the introduction.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So, welcome to our, this katha of like a 2-week-long series on hearing about glories of Maharaj and qualities and activities of Maharaj. And we have been hearing for past few days from different senior devotees. Today we have His Grace Braj Chandra Prabhu. He is one of the very senior brahmacharis from Chowpatty Temple. He is coming from IIT background. And he has been serving His Holiness Radhanatha Swami Maharaj for past 16 years personally. And he is also part of the care committee in Chowpatty. And he is also part of the team which takes care of the Vrindavan forest in Govardhan Eco Village. And Prabhu is like a very meticulous servant of Maharaj. And he understands the mood of Maharaj. He has been serving wonderfully for past 16 years. So to his team, now His Grace Pranavananda Prabhu also joined 3 years ago. And he is coming from a Sri Vaishnava background, and he is part of the cooking team for Maharaj. He's the main cook for Maharaj when Maharaj is in India. And he also engineering from SRM College, SRM University. And he also helps Gaurang Prabhu in the bigger kitchen as well. So these are the two things he does, his main seva in cooking. One is assist Braj Chandra Prabhu for preparing for Maharaj, as well as he assists Gaurang Prabhu in the bigger kitchen. So Braj Chandra Prabhu, so we are eagerly waiting to hear from you. Thank you so much for coming and taking the time and sharing your realizations and experiences about Maharaj amidst all of us. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances to each one of you. Thank you for having me on this forum. So I'm very grateful, honored to be with all of you. I don't know, this evening for you and for morning for us. And Personally speaking, I'm not so much qualified to speak, and I've never spoken on this such of a forum about Guru Maharaj. So I feel pretty uncomfortable and unqualified. So I just begin by reciting the Mangalacharan prayers. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanath Swamin iti namine. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin iti namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desh Tarine. Om Agyan Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Panghum Langayate Giri Yad Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinata. So thank you once again, Prabhus. So as I was mentioning, actually, of course, it is by the blessings of the senior devotees in Radha Gopinath, like Govinda Prabhu and Gauranga Prabhu and other seniors, that I got this opportunity or special blessing to assist in serving Radhanath Maharaj. It is rare blessings that I got by their mercy, by their kindness, and so therefore I feel myself very fortunate in that sense that I could serve or assist in serving Maharaj. That's how we were actually taught. Initially, we were like Govinda Prabhu was the one who would serve Maharaj personally, and when I was brought in, also that is the mood we had, was that it is on their behalf, on behalf of the seniors, and on behalf of the whole community, that we are personally serving Maharaj. We are getting this chance to serve Maharaj. It is not that it is on our accord. It's on behalf of our seniors and the whole community, that whatever little service we were offering to Maharaj. And I feel, as I mentioned, I'm quite unqualified to speak, and I've never spoken. So it's very, in one sense, you cannot describe the glories of such an exalted personality, and being such a small person myself. So, but whatever little I would try to share, and Pranavananda Prabhu, you can help me. And how do we go ahead about it? He has read and heard, and for so many speakers speak, and so he can help me. But as we all know, that Maharaj is like a very simple sadhu, simple Brajvasi person at heart, whatever over the years we have seen. Of course, the first time when Gauranga Prabhu introduced, that was in Pune Yatra, Gaur Govinda Prabhu was serving Maharaj, and I was supposed to assist him. And that's when Gauranga Prabhu introduced Maharaj, he will be assisting Gaur Govinda Prabhu in serving you. So Maharaj said, actually, be ready for chastisement. Maharaj said, 40 years I have lived alone and I didn't have anyone to serve me. So it's very difficult to understand what I need or what I will want. So be prepared. And that's how I started my service, with these words. And of course, as Maharaj did mention on a couple of occasions to me and to Damodar Dulal, who was serving before also, that actually I'm a very simple person. I don't need anything. And that's what we have seen also in one sense. Even in this COVID times, he was by himself for 2 years almost now. And he was managing himself everything. He was cooking himself, cleaning himself, doing his laundry, everything himself, and doing his preaching. And it's in that sense, he does not need a personal servant. So that we have seen also, whatever, it's very, very basic needs. What we provide. He did mention to us also that, what do I need? Clothes, Maharaj said, I can do my laundry myself. Cooking, I can just eat whatever is being made for the devotees. So in that sense, Gurudev said that I don't need anyone in one sense. So whatever we would do is very minimalistic, just do the laundry, do a little cooking for him and serve prasadam to him. And little bit help in organizing the schedule. So basically, he's like a very simple Brajavasi at heart person. He doesn't need much. And anyway, this Vrindavan reminds me, of course, when one time, and Maharaj has been, especially in Vrindavan, very simple, and wherever, and heavenly dhams, wherever he would go, he would prefer to live a very, very simple life. In Vrindavan, I can remember one time we had arranged a big car for him to drive from Delhi to Vrindavan. And right there, Maharaj said, "This is the car you're going to take me to Vrindavan. I'm not going. To get a simple car. I can't take such a big car to Vrindavan." And another time in Vrindavan, when Maharaj reached Vrindavan, and I had requested one devotee to arrange prasadam for Maharaj. And they had made very nice pasta prasadam for Maharaj. That's when, that was in the, it's like in the evening. And then I just brought it in front of Maharaj and I was serving Maharaj. Maharaj said, "This is what the Brajavasis eat in Vrindavan. This is what you're serving me. Pasta. Get me some simple roti sabji." Of course, then we brought from the Krishna Balaram Govindas. That's why Maharaj was staying in the guest house. Maharaj said, "Can you bring some simple roti sabji?" Yeah, serving pasta. Of course, that devotee had lovingly cooked, so Maharaj did honor a little. But then he said, this is what he would prefer, is a simple roti and sabji. That's what he honored. So in that sense, is very, very simple. And whenever Maharaj would go to Rishikesh also, he would lead a very simple life. Then we were staying in one of the big industrialists' bungalow they had, very beautiful bungalow right on the banks of Mother Ganga. They have their own private cart. And that's where Maharaj was staying. And they had a nice big bed. And Maharaj would take the sheet from the bed and put it on the carpet on the floor, and that's where he would sleep, on the floor. And I remember another time we were driving to Rishikesh, and this family was at some of their relatives passed away in Calcutta. So those family members, they canceled their coming to this bungalow. And so on the way, this is Radha Kundru was there with me, and we were driving through Rishikesh from Dehradun, and Maharaj said, "Okay, since that family is not coming, I will not stay in that opulent bungalow. Can you arrange a simple accommodation?" And I was thinking, that place is such nice, everything is arranged, cooking facilities there, and now this is like half an hour about to reach, and Maharaj saying, "I'm not going to stay, so we have to arrange another place, arrange place to cook." Because this bungalow had a very nice, and they had servants who would do the cooking, and everything was all organized and well set. Maharaj said, "I'm not going to stay there." So then somehow we connected with that family, and they finally said, "No, actually we might come after 2 days." And then I said, "Okay, then we should stay there." So then actually those family members came, and it was a good time. Maharaj could spend time with them and give them time and association. And they had a ghat, and there was a rock where Maharaj would go and sit and chant his roundsel in the morning there, just on the bank of Mother Ganga. And Maharaj would tell them that of all the furnitures in your room, in your house, that rock is the best furniture you have. That's where he would sit and chant every day. That's what Maharaj's favorite furniture in the house was, that rock on the bank of Mother Ganges. And in Rishikesh also, I remember then this time when these family guests this family was coming later, that's when I think in India, first time Maharaj met Shamdas, who had met in US, but Shamdas was from Pushtimar, very close friend of Maharaj. Of course, he left his body a few years back. From the Pushtimar, very, very dear friend, very close associate with Maharaj. He was there in India when Asim Krishna Prabhu, Maharaj's friend whom about Maharaj mentions in Janio, he was there in India at that time, I think. But then Maharaj and he didn't meet. But Asim Krishna Prabhu would write Maharaj about Shamdas Prabhu when Maharaj was in America. And he would tell Shamdas Prabhu about Maharaj, that there was one person like he was there. So they knew each other through Asim Krishna Prabhu. So they had not met. But then when one of the evenings, when Maharaj came to know that Shamdas Prabhu, this visit when we were there in Rishikesh, Maharaj came to know that Shamdas Prabhu is there at the bank of Ganga and for the Ganga Aarti and Pramarthana Kirtan. So Maharaj immediately said he would like to just go. And he was so eager to meet him. And then they spent like a couple hours together. And Radhanatha and myself, we were waiting at the bank of Ganga. They were just walking and talking. And then Maharaj comes back and he says that I would like to invite Shamdas Prabhu to come and stay there also. So I said, okay, we will find out. So Radhanatha was trying to reach those family there and check with them. And so we could not find out actually that we were not able to reach them. So we were not able to sure whether we should invite Shamdas Prabhu or not. But I said, okay, Maharaj, we can just do it. It's okay. They know you so well, they respect you, and they will agree to it. Maharaj said, no, unless we get a confirmation from their family, we will not. So that's how Maharaj is very sensitive and like careful. And like this reminds one time we were driving from Govardhan Eco Village to Radha Gopinath, and so there was another devotee was there. Another devotee was there with Maharaj, and they were driving and they wanted to take dinner on the way. And there was like Maharaj said, stop at some place where we can honor. So there was like a dhaba was there. And so I said, Maharaj, we can just go there and have prasad. It's okay. In India, everyone will allow you. Just come. We just take our food and we serve you. Maharaj said, no, first go and find out from him if he will allow us. We should ask him politely. So then I went and asked Sardarji, I requested him, said, yeah, please. Like in India, we are used to it's prasad and Sadhu was going to sit and take, but Maharaj was very conscious and careful. First go and ask him if he is okay. And then finally we went and took prasad, and that day was Ekadashi. So I had a very little prasad only. Some soup and some makhana, some rajkira chikki was there. So I was serving, and then Maharaj said, give it to the driver also. I didn't have enough for the driver. So finally I had some non-Ekadashi prasad and I gave him. I told him, if Maharaj asked, tell him you had prasad nicely. So then we served and then we came back, and then Maharaj said, so now go and give some money to that Sardarji for allowing us. I was thinking in India it's okay. We just sat on his place and we took prasad, but Maharaj was very careful, and somehow I had the money in my bag, but it was deep within, I couldn't find, and that guest was giving the money, who was traveling with Maharaj. And I just took it from him, hoping I'll just give him back. Maharaj said, no, how can you take money from him? He's our guest. You're taking money for him to give it to this person. Should be careful. So then finally I requested our driver, Prabhu, he gave the money and then I paid him. The point is, he was very, very sensitive in dealing and very careful and with his feelings. And then coming back to Rishikesh, so finally we could not have Shamdas Prabhu the same day. And the next day, finally, Shamdas Prabhu came in and where we could reach. And he had a cook, Mohan Prabhu, a Brajabasi. Because Shamdas Prabhu was staying in Vrindavan for over 40 years. And he had a Brajabasi, Mohan Prabhu, who would serve him and cook for him. And so we contacted them and that family, and he would personally cook, Mohan Prabhu, and Shamdas, he would offer to his Shamdas Prabhu's deities and serve prasad to Maharaj and Shamdas Prabhu. It's a very loving, sweet relationship they had with each other, and Maharaj would for hours and hours speak about Lord Chaitanya to Shamdas Prabhu, and Shamdas Prabhu would speak about different Krishna Leela, Krishna stories from the Balya Leela. Pushti Margi, they are very attached to the Balya Leela, childhood, and Yamuna, glories of Yamuna Mai. So that's they would do. And one of the evenings we had a wonderful kirtan on the ghat there, and Shamdas Prabhu was on the bank of Mother Ganga leading kirtan, and then he was glorifying Yamuna ji. And I was wondering within my heart, we are sitting on the bank of Mother Ganga, and Prabhuji is glorifying Mother Yamuna. They're close to their heart, Pushti Marg. And so then Maharaj at some point in his conversation made the point, see, this is the Sangam. The Ganga, Mother Ganga is flowing here, and Shamdas was speaking about Yamuna. So Yamuna ji is also there. So this is a beautiful Sangam of Ganga and Yamuna. That was very sweet to see there. And Maharaj had very deep friendship and relationship with Shamdas Prabhu. Couple of occasions we came to Delhi for some meetings, and so I think the bureau meetings were there, and then Maharaj told that I will go to Vrindavan alone. And then we booked a car for him, and Maharaj personally, he just went alone to Govardhan, Jatipura, where Shandas was staying, and Maharaj would stay with him 2-3 days, and they would just talk about Krishna and just be in Govardhan alone. So that's how Maharaj would spend a lot of time with Shandas Prabhu and Vrindavan in Govardhan. So like that. Pranavananda Prabhu, are you there? I can't see you on the screen.
Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna. So, Rachan Prabhu was speaking about Vrindavan, so I was collecting a pastime of Vrindavan Prabhu. So, after 4 years, Vrindavan Prabhu from New Vrindavan had returned back to Radha Gopinath temple, and he was standing on the corridor of Radha Gopinath, and then Guru Maharaj came and he hugged him from behind. And Vrindavan Prabhu was trying to see who is this person, and then he could not see. Maharaj was holding him so tightly. When he would turn left, Guru Maharaj would come to the left side, to the right side, and when he would come right, Guru Maharaj would come to the left. So after a few minutes, then Guru Maharaj came front and he showed. Then he said he caught the hand of Vrindavan Prabhu, and Guru Maharaj said, "Let's go to Vrindavan, Vrindavan Prabhu." Then Vrindavan Prabhu was telling, "Maharaj, I just returned back from New Vrindavan yesterday night. I'm so tired and I have no tickets, and I don't have anything with me." So then Guru Maharaj said, "You don't need anything to go to Vrindavan. Krishna will take care of you. So let's go." So then Vrindavan Prabhu said, "Maharaj, let me just get some clothes." He said, "No, no, no, no. In Vrindavan, you don't need anything. So let's go now." And Vrindavan Prabhu was hesitating. How should I go? I just read yesterday night. I don't have anything with me. So then Guru Maharaj caught him. "Now we are going to Vrindavan." And then he took him down, and then he took him into the Vrindavan forest, which is in Radha Gopinath temple. So then he said, "See, it's so easy that we reach Vrindavan." So then Guru Maharaj was telling about how this place was so filthy before, and then how they had transformed it to Vrindavan forest, which is one of the favorite places of Vrindavan Prabhu. So Vrachan Prabhu can tell some of his experiences in Vrindavan forest with Guru Maharaj in Radha Gopinath temple.
Yeah, actually, as Gauranga Prabhu explains, that Maharaj was also simple Brajvasi at heart. So wherever he would wanted to be, as Gauranga Prabhu explains, Maharaj was explaining that how Maharaj, when after he went from Vrindavan, when in 1971 he went back to New Vrindavan, he would meditate about all these Leela studies in Vrindavan, and he always wanted to manifest Vrindavan, Prabhupada's desire. So initially he started, as Gauranga Prabhu was explaining, he expanded in the altar, he brought those trees and cows, and it's like a 3-dimensional backdrop for Radha Gopinath with the whole Vrindavan theme. And then when he got little place, he wanted to have this Vrindavan forest in Radha Gopinath. And of course, everyone would say garden, garden, because that's what we would say. But Maharaj was always particular. This is not garden, this is Vrindavan forest. Whenever we would say we are going to the garden, I said, no, this is Vrindavan forest. So Maharaj like put a little big board outside, Vrindavan forest, not a garden. Because everyone would say garden, Jana, and we're going to the garden and we'll take the guests to the garden. Maharaj was very particular, and somehow by Maharaj's desire, many Brajavasis finally brought the Kadamba tree and the Tamal tree from Vrindavan, and a beautiful ceremony. Those trees were planted there, and Maharaj would spend a lot of time. Almost every day after meal, he would come there and take a walk, and every detail of it was personally, of course, Maithili Mataji, Srinathji's wife, she was the one who was given the charge for developing it. But Maharaj was orchestrating the whole thing, where the Madan Mohan temple should be, where little Govardhan should be there, and where the water fountain, Khalia, should be there, and Narhari too made those beautiful dioramas of Madan Mohan temple, and then Govindaji's temple. So he had that desire of manifesting Vrindavan, and he put a lot of energy, time. He would bring all his guests to that little Vrindavan forest, have them take prasads for many years. Of course, now, of last few years, it has not been happening, but previously, whoever guests would come, Sunday program or any other program, the prasadam would be in Vrindavan forest. Evenings or afternoon, the Maharaj would take prasadam with all the guests in Vrindavan forest. That was his, like the standard place. And of course, personally, as we were mentioning, very simple. For many years, he has had khichdi, at least in India. I don't know about the West, but over the years, this is one preparation which we have cooked the most, or Radha Vallabh Prabhu and Pranavananda Prabhu have they cooked the most, is khichdi. Somehow we cannot, I don't know, at least everyone will get bored by eating just one preparation, khichdi and dal and some papad sometimes. That's what he had for years and years. Sometimes Radha Vallabh Prabhu would get bored. He just, how can I prepare the same khichdi? So then he would make some modifications or do some changes. But then I will say, if something is good, just do it. Why do you want to change? Because we would get restless. How can we make the same khichdi, same dal, same rice, same sabjis we put and make the same khichdi? So we would get restless and come up with new ideas, put this into it, put that into it, or do some innovation. But he was like completely happy and just having that. At least I don't remember Maharaj telling any time that please cook this for me, or can you make this for me? At least I have never heard over the years Maharaj saying, can you make this prasad for me, or can you make this, or can you make this? Whatever we make, he would offer. He would just honor it. I think in America, and Sham Prabhu asked Maharaj, what should I make for you? Maharaj said, you make whatever you can. I don't think about these things. He was telling when he came to India that I don't think about these things. So that prasadam has never been his, like, just whatever is good for health. That's what I have asked a couple of times. Maharaj, should we give this? Should we give this? Is the only answer which I have heard is, if it is good for my health, you can give me, Prabhu. So never that, he never told that this is good, you can give me that. If it is good for my health, then you can give me, Prabhu. That was his like standard answer to, should I make this or should we make this? You decide, or whatever we make, he would just honor little, whatever is. Unless he is very sick, then when he wants something like very dal kapani or something very simple, which at that time his body needs. Otherwise, he never said anything for his health or whatever his works for his health. And for devotees, he made so many arrangements so that devotees get the best prasadam in Radha Gopinath. Like what prasadam we have in the ashram in Radha Gopinath, it's because of Maharaj's pushing and desire only. Because previously it was quite austere. The devotees were there. The idea was it should be simple, austere prasadam for the ashram. But then in Kerala treatment time, one of the brahmacharis who was accompanying Maharaj, Murari Gupta, who was there that time, he elaborately told Maharaj, this is the tapasya we are getting in the ashram. And then once Maharaj came back from Kerala, he made sure, he told Gauranga Prabhu that you make sure there is nice prasadam for the brahmacharis, nice sabjis are there, very nice. So he made all arrangements that all the devotees, all the residents and all the devotees who would come for prasadam, that's always has been hard, that devotees get really nice prasadam and devotees take prasadam. In the ashram, he has instructed us many times. Somehow we are not able to fully follow it, but he has given this instructions. He said, you should do this, take prasad together. That is, and that is one of the main instructions. Maharaj said, you should always take prasadam together. And many devotees have, Maharaj said, you may not understand it, how this is important. Do your sadhana together and take prasadam together. This works for a family or a community or for the ashram. So this is a very unifying force, just coming together and honoring prasadam in a family or in a community or in the ashram. And Maharaj was very, very particular about taking prasadam with the devotees. Even in yatras, even though his health may not allow, and whenever he would come for the pandals, usually there would be a lot of dust and all, and prasadam is there, but he would make sure with his health, now he doesn't come so often for honoring prasadam, but that's his desire, has always been there, that I should be there with the devotees to honor prasadam in the yatras or in the ashram. He would come down and honor prasadam. And one time I remember there was a very important reporter had come. It came around 12 o'clock. So Maharaj was hoping that interview will get over at 12. 45 on, then we can go for prasadam. But then that interview kept on going and going, and so Maharaj could not, by the time he, like the interview got over, like it was 1:15, 1:20. So I said, Maharaj, prasadam devotees have taken. So you can take care. So I said, but I would prefer to go down and take prasadam. I said, it is a million times better to take prasad with devotees hearing Srila Prabhupada's Leelamrit than taking prasad by myself in the room alone. Of course, if prasadam, while he is doing anything, he would always have Srila Prabhupada's katha being played, even if he's taking prasadam in the room, whether it is breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever time if he's taking, he has to have Srila Prabhupada's katha tape being played all the while. That is always has been his mood, and always been hearing Srila Prabhupada's katha and hearing his spiritual master. Pranavananda, you want to share that story of that Prabhupada katha box, which Maharaj named, and how Maharaj liked that in Mayapur?
So once we were in Mayapur for ISKCON Leaders Sangha ILS, and one of the devotees, Madhava Prabhu, made this box with Srila Prabhupada's lectures and also a booklet which has every lecture title of Srila Prabhupada. You might have seen that. So then Guru Maharaj was walking after class. He was going to his room, and Madhava Prabhu showed this speaker and the booklet to Maharaj. And Guru Maharaj said, I have not seen anything like this in so many years. This is such a wonderful service you have done. And then Guru Maharaj asked one of the devotees, can you get one for me? So this devotee was very tall and hefty. And then he, as soon as Guru Maharaj told, he just took it from Madhav Prabhu's hands. Then Maharaj told him, take it means not like this. You should give him money and take it. Then Madhav Prabhu said, no, Maharaj, no problem. You can take it. I am giving free for all Srila Prabhupada's disciples. Then Maharaj asked, really, are you giving it to me? He said, yes, Maharaj, really, I am giving it to you. Then he said, thank you very much. And he took the speaker and the booklet. And I would see that time, whenever I would walk to Radha Madhava's temple, Guru Maharaj would always hold that speaker in his hand and keep walking in the corridor and hearing Srila Prabhupada's lectures. So whenever we would cross that place, we would see Guru Maharaj hearing. After 2 days, Pracham Prabhu came and told Madhav Prabhu that what is there in speaker? He is not talking to anybody. He is just hearing lecture after lecture through the speaker. Then Guru Maharaj had to give Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's appearance day lecture. And then Guru Maharaj was telling that I have made a discovery that Srila Prabhupada would give every day one lecture. Every day one lecture wherever he is. But he only gave 2 lectures on Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's appearance day and disappearance day. This he could find out because he read all those titles of Srila Prabhupada's booklet which Madhav Prabhu had given, and he made this research and he found out that Srila Prabhupada gave 2 lectures on every Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur's appearance and disappearance day. And then he spoke a beautiful lecture, and then he was coming back, and I was behind Guru Maharaj, and Madhav Prabhu came, and Madhav Prabhu asked, Maharaj, the speaker we have made, but it does not have any name. Can you please initiate the speaker? So then Guru Maharaj said, I am not very good in giving names. Like that he said. And then Madhav Prabhu said, no, Maharaj, your disciples have such nice names. You give so nice names. Please initiate the speaker. Then Guru Maharaj said, do you really want me to give name? Yes, Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj. So then Maharaj put his hand on his chin and he was thinking, he was meditating, and he became very grave, and he said, when I think about this box, when I think about the speaker, first thing which comes into my mind is Srila Prabhupada's mercy. Srila Prabhupada's mercy is in his lectures. So should we name this speaker as Prabhupada's Kripa? Then Madhav Prabhu said, Hari Bol Maharaj, very nice name. And now if you see the speaker on the box, it is printed as Srila Prabhupada's Kripa. So this was a very amazing incident that Guru Maharaj sees Srila Prabhupada's Kripa in the form of his lectures. And like Braj Prabhu was saying, every time Maharaj has to take prasadam with Srila Prabhupada's lecture tape. Never and ever we have seen Maharaj without Srila Prabhupada's lecture, or sometimes he would also put Srimad Bhagavatam before him, and he would keep reading while he is taking prasadam. So it was one of the most important things while taking bath or while taking prasad. Guru Maharaj would always hear Srila Prabhupada's lectures. And second thing, Brachan Prabhu was telling that Maharaj always wanted to have nice prasadam for the devotees. So once Gaurang Prabhu was telling, once Guru Maharaj told him that we should make halwa for the brahmacharis. And then he said, I will personally come to the kitchen while making halwa. So when Guru Maharaj reached, there was a big patela, and in that was oil. And then Guru Maharaj said, why there is oil in this? He said, Gaurang Prabhu said, Maharaj, this is for brahmacharis. So Maharaj said, brahmacharis have given their life for us, and can't we give them some ghee? Why did you put this oil in this? Remove this oil and put ghee. Like that Guru Maharaj said. And once they were all honoring prasadam, and they were one devotee came and called Gaurang Prabhu, Guru Maharaj is calling you. So Gaurang Prabhu came, and everybody had prasadam served on their plates, and nobody was honoring, everybody was waiting. So Gaurang Prabhu came and saw Maharaj. He said, Maharaj asked, what is this? Gaurang Prabhu said, dal. So Guru Maharaj said, I know it is dal, but why is it like this? Then Gaurang Prabhu tasted, and he said, no Maharaj, it is very nice. It is not nice, it is very cold. So then Gaurang Prabhu said, Maharaj, these are brahmacharis. So Maharaj said, these are brahmacharis, not animals. Maharaj said, we should give them nice prasad. Whenever you serve prasad for devotees, Maharaj said, you should keep these three things in mind. It should be tasty, it should be healthy, and it should be hot. So you make arrangements so that these three things are always there. And Gaurang Prabhu recently was telling us that this concept of Ben Mary, they have never heard. Maharaj said in West, they use this for keeping prasadam hot. So you somehow or the other arrange this for the devotees to take prasad. That prasadam should always remain very, very hot. So this is always the mode of Maharaj, that we should give the best facility, best prasadam, best care for the devotees. Hare Krishna, Vrachan Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu, for sharing such wonderful stories. That's it. So one time, one devotee asked Maharaj, what is your favorite? Maharaj said, dal. It's different places Maharaj has answered differently, but he said, dal is my favorite. Of course, Jagannath Puri dal also Maharaj would like that whenever he would receive Jagannath Prasadam, Maharaj would be very, very careful, and he would not use an asan, because in Jagannath Puri there is a rule that the prasadam should be higher. So he would not sit on an asan. And when honoring Jagannath Prasad, no other prasadam. That's the rule in Jagannath Puri. Maharaj would very strictly follow, and then you can't rinse your mouth in the wash basin. No, you'll just wash your hands and drink the water, and just then you take it. So that's, he would be very, very careful and sensitive how to honor prasadam. Very special. And another time, I think 1st of January was there, and Maharaj would usually take prasadam with the brahmacharis, but that time Damodar Tulalku was there and I was assisting him. So Maharaj, so there some devotees from China had come, and those Matajis, they were leaving the next day. So they requested, and so Damodar Tulalku agreed that, okay, they can prepare prasadam for Maharaj, and we can serve Maharaj prasadam in Palika Mataji's house, who stays in the temple compound itself. So we'll serve prasadam there. And then we fixed the whole schedule, and then later on, we just, Palika Mataji informed Maharaj, Maharaj, please come to my house at 1 o'clock, and prasadam has been arranged there. So Maharaj was like, asked, who told you? And then Damodar Dulalku suggested that we should do it like this. The prasadam has been arranged at my house. So then Maharaj called for him, and then Maharaj chastised. Maharaj said, this is 1st of January. I wanted to take prasad with the brahmacharis, with all the devotees who come for prasadam at 1 o'clock. Many congregation community members would also come for prasad. So how can you decide where I will take prasad without even asking me? You can't make my schedule without asking me. So you have to cancel. But then he said, Maharaj, they are leaving the other day itself, so we can't do it now. So Maharaj said, you should never do it without asking me. I had made plans. Many devotees from community will be coming, with brahmacharis will be there. So I would be taking prasadam with them. How can you do that? So Maharaj was like chastising him, and then finally Maharaj said, okay, I will take care. So then what Maharaj did is, he came at 1 o'clock in the prasadam hall, and so we all got confused that what is happening. Maharaj, instead of going to Palika Mataji's house, has come to the prasadam hall. So he ran up, brought an asan for Maharaj. Maharaj sat on it and served the plate. And so we were confused now that prasadam is there, devotees, Chinese devotees are waiting there in her house, and Maharaj has sat here. So what is happening? So finally, about to serve prasadam, Maharaj said, no need to serve prasadam from the kitchen. He just sat there, heard Srila Prabhupada's Lilamrit for 20 minutes, just sat there with his empty plate in front and just hearing Srila Prabhupada's Lilamrit with the brahmacharis and the other devotees who were there. And then he got up, folded his hand, got up and went to Kalika Mataji's house and served and took prasadam what they had prepared and interacted with the devotees from China. So he just somehow like did both. So that's how he would give importance to just taking prasadam with devotees and being with the devotees. And so that's what he did. Of course, as we were mentioning, he would not usually take care about his prasadam. So the whole day schedule would be there. Avthalila would make the schedule and traveling, and there will be no slot for prasadam most of the times. So at least many times from going from Radha Gopinath to Govardhan Eco Village, the prasadam would be in the cars. Many times Maharaj has had prasad. So I would tell Avthalila that we should have a slot for prasad where we stop somewhere, or we should have prasadam, make sure we leave after prasadam or before. But then Maharaj would never agree to that. He said, prasadam I can take into the car. And I would tell the driver to slow down the car so that he's honoring prasad. Maharaj said, no, that it should be going full speed. I will manage. So somehow he would, and whenever he is himself by alone, he would be taking prasad very quickly, like very fast. Within 7 minutes, he would be just honoring prasadam, and with minimum time he would give for his bodily needs. That's over the years, that's what we have seen. He is not, basically it's like a person who is living for others. That's what his life is. There's no time for living for oneself. At one place we were coming for after some program in the night, and then Maharaj said, Rachanapur, tell me your realization. So I was like shocked. What is my realization? What should I say? So I said, Maharaj, seeing your life, I feel it's like you're just living for every moment, you're living for others. It's a very difficult life of a sadhu. So I just mentioned, and Maharaj said, yes, I'm wanting my health good. That day his health was not good. I want my health good so that I can serve the devotees. That's the only reason I want my health to be good. Otherwise, for my bhajan, I can just sit somewhere and do my bhajan. I don't need my health. It is for the devotees so that I can serve them. I need my health. So saying, Maharaj, what you are actually doing, in one sense, the schedules, at least in India, what we have seen over the years is the schedules physically also a person of his age will not be able to match. Of course, we cannot compare it physically. It's a spiritual Shakti, it's an Adhyatmic Shakti coming from the Supreme Lord. But even just on a gross, mundane, physical platform, if we see, still many a times, or most of the times, the schedules are such intense that the healthiest person would not be able to catch up also. That's how he would do. That's even the young, but I did tell Maharaj, it's difficult for a young person like me also to match the schedules which you have. But somehow by his spiritual Shakti, by his intense desire to serve, that's what he would catch him. And one of the times we were driving, this was the time when the Radha Govindaji's temple in Nigri was getting inauguration, and then from there, Maharaj was driving to Nasik, Radha Madan Mohanji's installation. That was like a very intense schedule. One DT welcoming, temple opening, and then driving to another temple opening and DT installation. It was quite an intense schedule. And we were driving there, and that time we had that Innova car for Maharaj. Maharaj was lying down on the back seat of the car. Like the front seat, I was there, and behind there were two seats, and the last seat, which was like a full seat. So there was Maharaj was just lying down on that car. And so then on the way, there's one town which is Sangamner. The very beautiful preaching was happening. Swami Bhagwan Pradhan devotee was preaching there, and very flourishing preaching program was happening there. Hundreds of youths are coming, even still now, many youths are coming there for their programs there in Sangamner. It's a small town. And so many of the brahmacharis who were there, Govind Prabhu was there, and many other brahmacharis were. They had all gone from Nigri to Nasik, but on the way they had gone to Sangamner, stopped there, took prasadam there, and saw that place. And so they were the senior devotees. They were calling me that this is right on the way, so we should have Maharaj come to Sangamner, because this is rare that he would probably never. It would happen that he would drive from Nigri to Nasik. Otherwise, usually either he goes to Nigri or he goes to Nasik. But then to drive from Nigri to Nasik is a very, very rare phenomena, and Sangamner is right on the way. So if Maharaj can come, it would be very nice. So Maharaj was just lying down. So I was not sure how do I communicate, and he was actually taking rest. So one time then Maharaj just got up. I just mentioned Maharaj that this place Sangamner is right on the way. Just like 5 minutes off the highway, we go 5 or 10 minutes off the highway. We will reach Sangamner, and Maharaji can go there, and devotees are honoring prasadam. Many brahmacharis are also there, and other leaders are also there. So he didn't reply. So I was not sure whether Maharaj heard it, because he was taking rest and his eyes were open. So I just said, so I was not sure whether he heard this message or not. So after some few minutes, I again repeated. So then Maharaj finally said, no, it's not possible. But then the devotees from there were calling me again and again that this is probably the only opportunity that Maharaj can come to Sangamner, and it will never happen again. This Nigri Nasik drive, it's rare a route. So this is the only chance Maharaj can come. So I was not sure. I was under like tremendous pressure. All these senior devotees are asking me, please tell Maharaj, request Maharaj that Maharaj should come there. So I again told Maharaj, and he didn't reply. So I was not sure what to do. And again, when it was like the time came and we just had to take the turn. So then finally I loudly said, Maharaj, this is the chance, we can go to Sangamner. So then Maharaj was actually lying down, he got up, and then he was actually telling me, Prabhu, this is the 4th time you are asking me, and you are making me say no. Maharaj said, this is the last thing which I like to do, is say no to some devotee event or some program. And this is the 4th time you are making me do it. Maharaj said it was such an intense schedule there, and I have to do this Nasik DT welcoming. And that time he was having his pain in his heart. Maharaj said, I'm having pain in the heart. I'm not able to breathe because of the asthma, and I'm in such a bad shape. And you made me say no 4 times. This is the worst thing which I like to do. I don't like to say no to any request by devotees, and you are making me say no 4 times. Do you understand what type of pressure you are putting on me? What type of anxiety are you giving me? You don't understand what I am going through. When you are my age, you'll understand what it means. And the way, of course, Maharaj has led his life, as somehow the body has not cooperating so much. So he said, you don't understand what I am going through at this age, and you are making me do this and saying me no and putting so much tremendous pressure on me again. Maharaj said, I understand that my one visit there will help the devotees, will enliven those devotees if I just go there for 10 minutes. But if I do that, I know right now my body is collapsing. I won't be able to do this program which I have already committed. Nasik DT welcoming, there's a big festival. They're just bringing these beautiful DTs. That whole big event is lined up there. So if either I do this or I do that. So that's why I was not answering, because I didn't want to say no. So I wanted to just go there and do that event. And you made me say no. So he was repeating that this is the worst thing, is he saying no to some service or event. And you made me do that for so many times. So he was very upset, and then I apologized, and the Daruk Prabhu that time, he was driving, and Maharaj was like very upset. He was chastising. He got so feared that why Maharaj is chastising. He was sitting on the back seat. I was just moving from the front seat back, and he got so feared. And he just got down from the car. And he said, I can't hear all this. Just 10 minutes, he just got out, and your car was stopped. And Maharaj was like, he was so scared. Maharaj said, I could leave my body, the amount of pressure you're putting, and go to this place and this place. And that Daruk was like, he was so shocked. He just got down from the car. Said, I can't drive, hearing all this. And then finally I called him, and then we went to, somehow we could not go to Sangam at that time. But he did express that it's so hard for him to say no. And And we have seen over the years that in spite of his bad health, he will put his whole heart, soul, and energy, whatever he's doing, as many devotees have experienced, that whatever he does is with full absorption. There is like full focus, full. When he is with someone, he is with that personality. He's like living in the present with that devotee. Then there is no question of like time or not giving them time or energy. Once they are there, he's there for them fully. That's what his life has been, completely focused and giving himself completely for the service of the devotees. Thank you, Prabhu. Pranavananda Prabhu, you want to share something?
So Guru Maharaj was in Vrindavan, and then he was walking from Radha Madan Mohan temple to Govindji. So his leg got stuck in the mud and it got twisted. And Maharaj had a sprain in his leg, and there was a lot of bandages and everything. And still in that condition, Vrindavan Prabhu recollects this incident that Guru Maharaj was spreading his leg and giving class to all the devotees who were attending the yatra. So Vrindavan Prabhu went to Guru Maharaj and he said, Maharaj, please take some rest because you are very tired and sick. So Maharaj said, there is no need to take a break because I am already broken. So in that condition also, Guru Maharaj continuously extends for devotees. Last when in 2019, Guru Maharaj was very sick, and somehow that Saturday and Sunday he was extremely sick and he was taking rest, and he was going to the hospital on Sunday evening. And then we asked Bachan Prabhu that I would want to give a class because I did not give. Prabhuji remembers that Maharaj said that I do not give the class this Sunday, so devotees. Then I will go for Mayapur GBC meetings and come back in the March for Gaur Purnima time. So I have to give a class. He said Sunday class is already over. Then Maharaj said Advaita Acharya's appearance day is coming, so I will give class on Tuesday. And Maharaj said that I have to give class to the devotees because I could not give on Sunday. And then he scheduled his class again on Tuesday, and we had a Bhagavatam class on Tuesday. So I was thinking how merciful is he that even though he could not give his time in that bad health, still he is thinking about devotees, and how if I miss this chance, then it will be after 1.5 months. So how much eager Guru Maharaj was to give his association, and how much eager we have to be to take his association whenever he's giving it. So that is extremely important. One devotee shares that one time Maharaj was in America, and then he told Guru Maharaj that I cannot come for Vrindavan Yatra this year. So Guru Maharaj asked, why can't you come? He said, Guru Maharaj, I don't have any leaves. So then Maharaj picked up leaves from the garden and he said, take these leaves and come to Vrindavan Yatra. So he's all Guru Maharaj is Guru Maharaj always wants devotees to come together and serve each other, and Guru Maharaj, he wants everybody to hear katha and sit together and take prasadam and serve each other and have a wonderful, healthy Krishna conscious relationship. So we can understand from his incident that how much time he's giving in spite of his bad health, and how much we have to utilize it whenever we get an opportunity. So,
Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, remember Giriraj Prabhu, when he was making this offering, he did mention that he said, I've never seen a person who has this much ability to tolerate pain, even on a physical platform. He was mentioning that he deals with all, he's a very senior doctor in Bhaktivedanta Hospital. He's an orthopedic surgeon. So he was mentioning, he said, I have treated Maharaj so many times, but I've never seen someone in my so many years of career as an orthopedic surgeon, like practicing more than 30 years, I've seen someone who can tolerate pain so much. Physical pain also he could tolerate, and it'll be like he would keep tolerating. That's somehow that's how he speaks also Trinada Pisinechan, and we can see from his own personal life also he can tolerate things. He will not tell till the time it affects his service, even about his health or any of his needs. He never asks for anything that give me this, arrange this or that, unless it affects the service which he is doing. He will not say. For years, we are not giving something. Maharaj did mention once that for years, we were not giving something, and he never said anything. Not even once he mentioned. But then when it affects the service, he would say, but for himself, so it's like, in one sense, it's very easy to serve because he doesn't ask for anything. At the same time, you feel bad that I don't know what he needs. That's the difficulty part. That because he doesn't ask for anything. If you don't do anything, he is also happy. If you don't make any arrangements, anything, he goes somewhere, nothing is there, he's happy with that. He will not say anything that why you didn't do this or why you didn't make this arrangement or you didn't do this or that. But so in that sense, he doesn't ask or demand anything. If he says then, okay, do this, then in one sense, things are easy for the disciple. Maharaj said, yeah, okay, make sure there is the geyser in my room, there is hot water is there and that, make sure this is there in the room, and there is a cooler is there. So he will not tell anything. So you don't know. If there is nothing, he will be happy with that, he will manage with that. And he will, I feel, sometimes we feel so bad. Because in Vrindavan Yatra, for many years, Maharaj stayed in that Fogla ashram. And those who have seen that room, it was such a pathetic room, and with no hot water facility, and the whole paint was peeled off. And somehow, I don't know, but that's what I've heard from devotees, that Prabhupada stayed in that room. Now that room is not there. They have broken that room and made a nice building there. Or something was there that he would stay there. And somehow I feel so bad now that for years Maharaj was staying whenever he would go to Vrindavan, he would stay there. And 1 year, finally, one devotee suggested, why didn't you at least get it painted? And then Madhav Gopal from Vrindavan, he actually painted that room with the help of one devotee. So I was thinking, for so many years, we could have done it by ourselves. We were just thinking, Fogla ka room hai, why should we do it? But it was like the whole thing was scraped off. There was those like broken up lights and those black switches which were not functioning properly. And somehow I so feel bad that over the years, that thought didn't come that we should have actually repaired that room. Since anyways he's staying in that room, we could have, staying 10, 15 days in a year, he's staying there, but somehow he never said anything, that put up a geyser. Simple thing was, we should have done is put a geyser there. But he never told, and it never struck to us also. He just, like, we would provide hot water, sometimes it will late, sometimes it won't be available. So we were feeling bad. The room where we were staying was much more opulent, was nice, big room, and with the geyser and everything, all the facilities. But the room where he would stay in that ashram was a very simple room. And he never said anything about it. So in that sense, it is difficult because we never could understand. Being a dull person, I could never figure out we should have done it. And then when devotee suggested, we finally repaired that room. Of course, now that room is not there. And so I seek the blessings of each one of you, that we get the intelligence to properly serve. It is only possible when we have the blessings of the Vaishnava. So I seek the blessings of each one of you, that we get the intelligence and the right consciousness on behalf of all the devotees, that we can actually please him and serve him in the right consciousness, in the right mood, and get that understanding what is needed. So that's what Maharaj was mentioning.
Prabhuji, you can share some interaction of Maharaj from GEV point of view. Something you observed Maharaj in GEV.
You have many stories from GEV. You want to share? And if I remember something, I'll also share. Pranavananda, we can start something.
So one thing in regard which Chandra Prabhu was telling, one line last Vrindavan Yatra, Guru Maharaj's health was very, very bad. Avatar Leela Prabhu was once asking Guru Maharaj that, Maharaj, is this because of the weather or because of dust of Vrindavan? So Guru Maharaj told, I don't know, is it because of dust or weather, but anything in Vrindavan happens only with Krishna's mercy. So I am happy with whatever happens to me in Vrindavan. So like that was the consciousness of Guru Maharaj in Vrindavan. So, and in GV, there are, Chandra Prabhu actually should say, because he was for a long time in GV, but I would like to recollect some of the incidences with when we would be going on a tour with Guru Maharaj's God brothers when he would give his tour. So once we were with Ambarish Prabhu and Swaha Mataji, and we were in the Goshala. And Guru Maharaj, when he went, he saw a pregnant cow just right in front. So then he called the in charge of Goshala and he said, if this cow gives birth to a male child, then you should name it Ambarish, and if it is a female, then you should name it Swaha Devi. Like that, Guru Maharaj told. And then and whenever Guru Maharaj's disciples come, it's a very big festival for all of us, because we can see how their interactions are and how few devotees interact with each other, and they were so loving and respectful. And once Guru Maharaj was going on a tour with Gurijan Prabhu and Devamrit Maharaj, and then we were at the place of Man Mandir, and Maharaj was telling how special is this picture of Krishna and Radharani. That Radharani, he was explaining how this picture is, and he was saying Lalita Devi is trying to get both of them together, and Radharani is simultaneously angry on Krishna, and she's not able to stop herself seeing Krishna. And she said, this is the mood of Radharani. And he said, if we can just keep this picture in our heart and remember, then we will definitely go back to Godhead. This is what Guru Maharaj would tell everybody whenever he gives a tour of Man Mandir. And then he was telling, this is actually mood of Lord Chaitanya. Exactly in this picture, Radharani wanting to meet Krishna. So then Maharaj was telling that in Gambira, if you see Gambira, you see a small room. But Maharaj was telling them, actually Gambira was not like that. And there is a cave under Gambira, the room which we see. And then he had an opportunity to go to that exact same place where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would stay. And then the Goswami, who was assisting Maharaj, was constantly speaking to him. Some story or the other, some what happened here, how their plans of renovating it, and so many things. And Maharaj said that I was just hoping that I would get some time to chant in this very place where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed. And then Maharaj was telling that to my utter surprise, the Goswami who was speaking to me for past 1 hour fell asleep, and he was snoring just right beside Maharaj. And Maharaj thought this is such a nice opportunity, and he could chant for a long time. And this Goswami suddenly slept. So he was telling, this is the mystical experience which I had in Gambira. So then we were walking down from Man Mandir to Govindji temple, and at one place there are a lot of birds chirping. And then Guru Maharaj was telling Devamrit Maharaj that, see Maharaj, every bird has its own sound. But if you see together, so and all the sounds together is giving such a beautiful sound. So then Devamrit Maharaj said that this example you should tell in the GBC meeting, is then all of them were laughing. And then once in GBC meetings, we had a disciples meeting in Radha Sundari Mataji's house in Mayapur. When Guru Maharaj was giving class, and the cows behind were making loud sound. Then Guru Maharaj asked, where are these cows from? And then Radha Sundari Mataji said, Maharaj, these are from Nandanacharya's house. They have a Goshala, and from their house we are hearing this sound of cows. And Maharaj asked spontaneously, do you know the pastimes of Nandanacharya's house? 3 devotees hid in Nandanacharya's house. Like that, Guru Maharaj told that it is Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, and Advaitacharya. 3 of them were hiding in different pastimes of Chaitanya Charitamrita. And then Guru Maharaj said, whenever I come for GBC meetings, I also feel like going and hiding in Nandanacharya's house. Like Maharaj was telling, and everybody were laughing. And this mood I could see wherever Niranjan Maharaj, Devamrit Maharaj, and Guru Maharaj, wherever they would speak about meetings, their heart is always in really spending time with the devotees and having Krishna Katha. Niranjan Maharaj would also say, the last thing I would like to sit is to sit in the meeting. Like that, one time Niranjan Maharaj told Guru Maharaj. So when we were in Prayagraj for Kumbh Mela, we were traveling, and Guru Maharaj once asked one devotee, we were walking on the banks of Ganges, So Maharaj asked, where is Yamuna? So this devotee said, Maharaj, this side is Ganga's side and the other side is Yamuna's side. So he said, oh, that is so far. And in the evening, we went to Paramartha Niketan's Pandal. And this devotee remembered that Guru Maharaj was asking for Yamuna. And he reminded Maharaj, Maharaj, we came to the Yamuna side. Because in Sangam, one side is Ganga, one side is Yamuna, and in between is Saraswati. So Maharaj went to Yamuna and he squat down on the floor. And he was just taking darshan of Yamuna Mai for half an hour, doing nothing. He was just watching Yamuna flow. And then he came to the vehicle and he climbed on the Scorpio. Means he put his leg on the Scorpio and he was taking darshan of Yamuna Mai. And then he came into the vehicle and Guru Maharaj was telling that this is the best thing which we did in the entire day, taking darshan of Mother Yamuna. And then Maharaj was asking, okay, should we go to the place where Lord Chaitanya instructed the Goswamis? And then the devotee who was driving said, Maharaj, it will take long time for you. Then Maharaj said, at least can we take darshan of Bindu Madhav, Venu Madhav? Then the devotee said, Maharaj, that also has lot of queue, we cannot go. And one more devotee from behind, Sanak Sanatan Prabhu was telling, Maharaj, not only one Madhav, Prayagraj has 12 Madhavs, 12 Madhav. And then Maharaj said, I would just like to stay in Prayagraj and take darshan of each and every deity, but I have GBC meeting to attend. I would be very happy to miss the bureau meeting, but bureau will be extremely sad to miss me, so I have to go, unfortunately, like that Maharaj was telling. So once in GV, Guru Maharaj was going around Madan Mohanji, and Madan Mohanji and Maharaj said that here Vrinde Devi has the most beautiful eyes. So everybody were wondering, where is Vrinde Devi and where are her eyes? So after a long time, devotees could figure out that under Madan Mohan there is a silver base, and on that base is a deity of Vrinde Devi, carved, and she has such tiny eyes that nobody can ever see also her eyes. And Maharaj was telling, this Vrinde Devi has most beautiful eyes. So this is how Maharaj would take us on. One time with Madhvacharya Prabhu's group, Bhaktivedanta Maharaj's disciples, Maharaj was giving tour, and when we were in Cheer Ghat, it was already around 10 o'clock in the night, and Maharaj was telling them, so remember, wherever you are in this world and doing whatever, remember that Krishna is always sitting on the top of this tree and waiting for you. Like that Guru Maharaj said. And Maharaj said that there were two places where I would sleep in Vrindavan. One is Cheer Ghat, and second place is on the banks of, no, he said the second place was at Radharaman, whenever Yamuna would get flooded in rainy season. Then Maharaj said, whenever I would sleep under this Cheer Ghat tree, I would constantly, every day before sleeping, pray to Krishna, please remove my pride, just like you removed pride of gopis, so that I can serve you with all of my heart. Then Maharaj said that any service which we render with pride, Krishna will never accept it. Only if you do it with love and without pride, with all of your humility, only this pleases Krishna. So Maharaj told that under the tree of Cheer Ghat. So we would have whenever Guru Maharaj's guests would be there, and whenever Srila Prabhupada's disciples would be there, Guru Maharaj would take on a very, very beautiful tour around Vrindavan forest, and it would be very late night. So one day we were with Radhika Raman Prabhu from Radhika Raman Prabhu, is it? Rachin Prabhu from Uta? Radhika.
Yes, bro. He is from Utah, Radhika.
Radhika Raman Prabhu, and he had two children. And Maharaj, it became almost 10:15 in the night. And then last place was Man Mandir, and we got down from Man Mandir. And Guru Maharaj asked, what is the time now? Then devotee said, Maharaj, it is 10:15. So Maharaj said, oh, I forgot that you have to take your prasadam also. But it's so late and I don't think you will get prasadam. And then he was asking Radhika Raman Prabhu's kids that, are you hungry? Do you want to take prasad? And that child replied to Guru Maharaj that, Maharaj, all my hunger is gone hearing Katha of Vrindavan from your mouth. Then Maharaj sat down and he was holding his hand, and Guru Maharaj was telling, that I also aspire for this consciousness. Just hearing Krishna Katha should satisfy all the senses. Like that he was telling, Guru Maharaj with his humility was telling the child, please bless me so that I can also become like you. Like that Guru Maharaj was telling. So these are all very, very wonderful times when Maharaj would, especially when he would give the tour to his guests. One day Guru Maharaj was walking with his guests and he said, great danger, great danger. And devotees did not understand what is this great danger Maharaj is speaking about. That was the Aghasur Leela, where all the Gopas were entering the mouth of Aghasura. And Maharaj said, great danger, great danger. Then devotees asked, what happened, Maharaj? See, the Gopas are entering the mouth of Aghasura and Krishna is not there because they had taken the deity of Krishna for painting the diorama. So Maharaj said, this is a great danger that Gopas are entering and Krishna is not present. So this is how, and one time we were walking and Guru Maharaj was telling, he is the most famous personality in our Vrindavan forest, and he was showing it to, he was showing his finger towards Aghasura. So like that, many, many leelas and many, many pastimes in Vrindavan forest. Vachan Prabhu, please tell some.
No, this is good. You can continue, Prabhu. Very sweet about Vrindavan.
So once we were, one devotee, Madhav Gaur Prabhu, was sharing that once Guru Maharaj was walking in Vrindavan forest and he said he plucked one flower. It is called Deva Gandharva in Telugu, but I don't know what it is called in English. It has yellow color in between and it becomes white. Prabhu, what flower is it, Vachan Prabhu?
No, I don't know, Prabhu.
It is yellow in between and it becomes white eventually. It has big petals if you see. So that flower Maharaj picked up and he was showing to Madhav Gaur Prabhu that this is the color of Lord Chaitanya. It is golden yellowish inside. So Maharaj was telling like that. So one day that was the last day when Guru Maharaj was leaving to America, that March of 21st. So Maharaj was taking a tour with one of his god brothers, Madhusudan Prabhu. And then we were around Govardhan, and that was the time when Govardhan was filled with butterflies, hundreds and thousands of butterflies. And Maharaj was just seeing these butterflies and he was saying, Madhusudan Prabhu, see Madhusudan Prabhu, because you have come here, all these butterflies have come to welcome you, like that Maharaj was telling. But that was the only day where I saw so many butterflies. And after that, we have never seen so many butterflies around Govardhan. So that was a very, very special experience. And Maharaj would sing Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Krishna, Jai Vrindavan, and all these songs and taking them on parikrama in the late night. And we would have a beautiful, beautiful time around Vrindavan. And especially when he would sit on Yamuna, bank of Yamuna, and he would see on the other side, he was explaining Madhvacharya Prabhu that there are three rasas present here. Can you tell me? Then Madhvacharya Prabhu was looking and he could not understand. Then he was showing at three dioramas exactly opposite to Yamuna. One is Krishna playing with his Gopa friends, and Guru Maharaj said this is Sakya Rasa. And then he showed at Yamuna Mai, Mother Yashoda binding Krishna, and he said this is Vatshalya Rasa. And one place we had the diorama of Krishna dancing with the gopis, and he said this is Madhurya Rasa. So he would experience all this, and then he would always ask devotees to on Yamuna whenever his guests would come, and he would sit at the starting of Yamuna and tell so many stories about Vrindavan and Vrindavan forest. Hare Krishna.
That was one of Maharaj's favorite places. Prabhuji was mentioning about starting of Yamuna. He would sit there and chant. He would sit there and chant, and many times he took his prasadam also there. So there were three rocks. So one he said, this is for chanting, this is for prasadam, and this is where he would meet the devotees also. And I said, this is my office. Of course, he said, actually, this is Vrinda Devi's office, and I am her servant. That's right. Many meetings would happen at the beginning of Yamuna 3. That's where he would have his meetings, do his bhajan, chanting. Many days he would just stand there, just on the banks of Sri Yamuna. And actually everything personally, Gurudev has actually gone into the great details of every pastime places, which place should be there. I remember when That time, they were thinking where the Barsana temple should be made. So the place was not yet finalized. I remember one of the days I was just sitting and chanting early in the morning. And then I didn't realize Maharaj just walked behind and he just patted on me and I was like shocked, who's there? And then I said, this is Man Mandir. I was surprised, what is this? There's nothing. That time it was just like an open field there. But that's what his meditation was. I said, this is Man Mandir. You see, can you see? I was not sure what is it. There's like just an empty field, some dirt was kept there. I said, this is Man Mandir. So that's what he was meditating and being completely absorbed where each pastime place could come and how devotees can get that experience of Vrindavan. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very, very much. Pranavananda, you want to say something in the last?
One of the main attractions of our Vrindavan forest for all Srila Prabhupada's disciples and the guests is the Vaishnava Memorial.
Yes.
It is extremely special, and whoever comes there, they are in tears. And one time Vaishaki Prabhu was telling Maharaj that after taking darshan, devotees were telling that he was in tears, and then he came to Guru Maharaj, was walking with Ambarish Prabhu, and we were all behind him walking, and Vaishaki Prabhu came and embraced Maharaj, and he said, this is Vaishnava. Vaishnava means one who remembers each and every devotee and would want to serve them. And Maharaj said, this is the most special place, Maharaj, that I am seeing all our God brothers. I am seeing all the disciples of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. That is a very, very extremely special place. And Maharaj's mood and his essence is that we have to serve the Vaishnavas very, very nicely. And recently I was hearing this very, very heart-touching pastime from Jaisachinandan Prabhu. He was telling when Sridhar Maharaj was very, very sick in Mayapur, and devotees were all there for Mayapur Yatra. And when all the devotees were leaving, Maharaj told the management that I need 3 devotees to stay back in Mayapur to serve Sridhar Maharaj. He said, I need 1 devotee to sing Kirtan, 1 doctor, and a manager. So the management committee selected Radhakund Prabhu to manage, and Murari Gupta Prabhu as a doctor, and Jai Sachinandan Prabhu to sing. And all of them were very junior by the time. Jai Sachinandan Prabhu just joined. So every day they would go to Srila Sridhar Maharaj's place, and there would be no service because Srila Sridhar Maharaj already had his disciples and they were doctors. And that time, that was Gaur Purnima festival, and so many Maharajas would come. All Srila Prabhupada's disciples would come and sing for Srila Sridhar Maharaj. So then one time they were asking management, we have no service here. Maharaj is being taken very nice care. So please, we will come back to Chopati. Then Maharaj told them that this is Mayapur Gaur Purnima time. Everybody will be there. But once Gaur Purnima is over, nobody will be there. They have to stay there only. So exactly it happened in the same way that after Gaur Purnima, all Srila Prabhupada's disciples left, and all Srila Sridhar Maharaj's disciples also went back to their own places of service. And one day, Jai Sachinandan Prabhu got up early in the morning and he saw Murari Gupta Prabhu and Radhakund Prabhu. Both of them were not there in the room. It was around 3:30 time in the morning. And then Jai Sachinandan Prabhu got a message that Srila Sridhar Maharaj is not well, you have to come running. So at that time, it was around 4 o'clock in the morning. Nobody were there in his quarters. Radhakund Prabhu was there and Murari Gupta Prabhu was taking care of Sridhar Maharaj. And they asked Jai Sachinandan Prabhu, you sit here and sing. So immediately after a few minutes, Srila Sridhar Maharaj left his body. While Jai Sachinandan Prabhu was singing, Murari Gupta Prabhu was taking care of Sridhar Maharaj, and Radhakund Prabhu was the person who organized his whole Antim Sanskar ceremony. So then Jai Sachinandan Prabhu was very shocked and he was bewildered that how can such an exalted personality get service from such junior devotees like all of us, and I just recently joined. So how was I able to sing for Maharaj when he was leaving his body? I went and asked Jananivas Prabhu and Pankajangri Prabhu, and then they replied that it is not that you are serving Sridhar Maharaj, but it is the intense desire of your Guru Maharaj to serve his God brothers. Through you, Maharaj did this service to Srila Sridhar Maharaj. So it was so amazing to hear that how much care and how much conscious Maharaj was, that he was so specific that these 3 devotees will be needed at the last times of Srila Sridhar Maharaj, and how much intense desire he had that all three of our God brothers could do that service on Maharaj's behalf. So Maharaj's mood is just remembering, showing gratitude, and serving his God brothers and God family to the best of his capacity.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, thank you, devotees. Please bless me that I can always serve Guru Maharaj in proper consciousness, and I can always forever get Braj Chandra Prabhu's association and together serve Srila Gurudev. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. I'll just end with one line which I was just hearing from Giriraj Prabhu in his offering. He was mentioning, and it's very apt. He said, the disciple's life is nothing but the mercy of the spiritual master. Which is like the Raksha Kavach which Srila Gurudev gives to his disciples, and it works when a disciple takes shelter of the spiritual master's instructions. One time, one devotee asked Maharaj, how may I develop attachment for you? He said, humbly serve and ask questions. Giriraj had asked this question. Maharaj said, humbly serve and ask questions. So then he can develop attachment for you. For me, Maharaj mentioned. So thank you all very much, seeking your blessings that we can serve Guru Maharaj and please him and serve all the Vaishnavas. Thank you, Madhav Chandra Prabhu, for organizing and giving us a chance to remember and get purified.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Thank you so much for taking the time and coming and sharing your heartfelt realization while serving Maharaj. We pray to Shri Radha Gopinath and Shri Radha Vrindavan Bihari, Shri Radha Madan Mohan and Mahaprabhu, that you continue to serve Maharaj nicely, and then we always pray that you can always be with us to share Maharaj's mood and remind us how Maharaj is selfless to serve his God brothers, his God brothers' disciples and his disciples and all the Vaishnavas. So we also can take the same mood that to serve others and help each other. So thank you so much. And I pray that Pranavananda Prabhu, you continue to cook to your heart's content for Maharaj. Pranavananda Prabhu is a very special soul. We have been cooking for his Goda Krishna deities from his childhood. From his childhood, he have been preparing and cooking and offering for his deities of Goda Krishna. And he always had the desire to serve his guru, and he didn't know who his guru was at the time. And it's the whole thing is a mystical how it got arranged, how he came to serve Maharaj in this capacity to cook for Maharaj. And his very special personality. I continue to pray that you stay in the ashram to continue to serve Maharaj and cook for him and nourish him. And then Krishna nourishes you, your heart in that service. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for both of you.
I have just one information to tell. Today evening from 6:30 p.m. IST to 9 o'clock in the night, we are having a vyasa puja of Srila Gurudev in Telugu language.
Yes.
We have all the Telugu speaking brahmacharis, our Yugal Kishore Prabhu, Bankim Rai Prabhu, Chakradhari Prabhu, Gauranga Darshan Prabhu, Nimai Leela Prabhu, Raj Mohan Prabhu, all of them are speaking about Guru Maharaj with no adulteration of any other language, only in Telugu. So if Telugu speaking devotee is there, then they can definitely attend it. If you want that details, then you can message me and I will share the details. And it is from 6:30 p.m. IST to 9 p.m.
Thank you, Prabhuji. We are all officially Telugu only, Prabhuji. Telugu is the official language now. So we are all getting initiated in Telugu language.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for wonderful katha, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Prabhuji. Hari Bol.
Hari
Bol.
Hare
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. So devotees, we will have our next meeting or whatever Gospel offering tomorrow in 6:30 p.m. by Harivamsha Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, what about Yugal Kishore Prabhu's?
On Sunday, 12 o'clock.
Oh, that's Sunday. Oh, okay. I thought it's Saturday. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.